self-evaluation test. So I've brought self-evaluation test 10 very important questions from the poem Dust of Snow along with one fact and opinion question. So let's get started. So first question is, what is the poet's state of mind in the beginning of the poem? How do you come to know about this? So you can just jot down answers on one side in your rough notebook and then you can match them with the answers which I'll be giving in the end. So if you haven't watched the explanation on the Little Devices video of Dust and Snow, you can just go back, refer to it, revise it, and then come back for this test. Second question is, what is Dust of Snow? What does the poet say has changed his mood? Then how has the poet's mood changed? What do crow, hemlock, and snow stand for? What do they signify in the poem? This is an important question. Question number 5. How does the poet present nature in the poem? Does the poet represent bright and cheerful side of nature? Then sixth is, why does the poet use such poetically uncommon bird and tree? What does it reflect? Then justify the role of the crow in the poem. Eighth one now. What did the poet think of the day before the dust of snow fell on him? Or explain and saved some part of a day I had viewed. The ninth is, which two literary devices have been used in the line has given my heart. Question number 10 is extract based. So the questions are, what has brought a change in the mood of the poet? Then what has been saved? The word that is an opposite of delighted from the stanza is, and this is a fact and opinion based question. So you have to read these, you have to decide which is a fact and which is an opinion, and then you have to give the answer from the options that are given. Now I'll be moving on to the answers, but if you haven't still answered all these questions, you can pause here, go back, look at the questions, write your answers, and then listen to the answers that I will provide. Now I'm moving on to the answers. First question now. What is the poet's state of mind in the beginning of the poem? How do you come to know about this? So, in the beginning of the poem, the poet is sad and he is feeling hopeless. In this first stanza, the poet says that he had rued some part of the day, which means that he regretted the way his day had passed. So, he's sad, depressive, and in gloom. Second, what is dust of snow? What does the poet say has changed his mood? Dust of snow means fine particles of snow. And according to the poet, the shower of dust of snow, which is caused by the crow from the hemlock tree, has changed his mood. How has the poet's mood changed? The poet is walking through the forest in a sad and depressive state of mind. He is absorbed in pensive thoughts. A sudden action of falling of dust of snow from the branch of hemlock tree, shaken by a crow, jolts the poet out of his gloom. The soft touch of nature relieves him and uplifts his spirit. So this brings a change in his mood. So poet, he is walking, he is sad and depressive. Dust of snow falls on him and the poet is shuddered out of his thoughts. So he jolts out of gloom, and like this, suddenly it uplifts his spirit and he sees brighter side of life. Now, fourth question, what do crow, hemlock, and snow stand for and what do they signify? As I've told that this is an important question. So, crow, because of being black in color, harsh in voice, fearsome, and scavenger, is considered to represent death. Similarly, hemlock tree is also considered to be poisonous. So, snow here, which occurs in winter, winter represents end of the growing season. So, winter is also reflected as depressing. But snow, though it is cold, its white color represents purity, innocence, joy, peace, and positivity. So this you need to remember, that snow, although it is cold, so cold emotions, but still its white color that represents purity, innocence, joy, peace, and positivity. So therefore, the poet who is walking, though crow and hemlock, they are signs and symbols of death, of depression, but still there is snow around which provides a ray of hope to the poets, and therefore falling of snow dust of snow on him gives him positivity. So thus in the poem, hemlock and crow, those symbols of bad omen, become a catalyst in uplifting the poet's mood. Become a catalyst means they become a part of changing the mood of the poet. So the soft touch of nature, that is snow, gives him a ray of hope to see life from a different perspective. In the poem, they signify the power and impact of nature on human beings. So this is important. So you can just learn this line. So they signify actually the power and impact of nature on human beings. Sometimes even insignificant incidents can bring a significant change in our life. Here, these symbols signify hope and optimism in life. So these lines actually, if you can remember, you can write and quote these when you are explaining about these symbols. Question number 5. How does the poet present nature in the poem? Does the poet present bright and cheerful side of nature? Now, nature has been presented as a medium that has a power to uplift sad and sullen spirits. The poet had been in a depressive state of mind. He was walking through the forest in that state when a crow shook dust of snow on him. So this action brought a change in the poet's mood. So he was inspired to see positive side of life and the bliss that nature bestows on us. So nature always it uplifts the spirit of man. That is what the poet actually wants to say. Now, why does the poet use such poetically uncommon bird and tree? What does it reflect? Now, the crow and the hemlock tree, they help to reflect sad and depressive mood of the poet. So, in the beginning, when the poet is sad, poet is depressive. So, by the use of crow and hemlock tree, the poet actually builds this atmosphere. So crow represents sorrow, death and ugly side of life. Hemlock is also poisonous and thus it also symbolizes death. So in such a state of mind, the poet could not think of beautiful creatures and plants. So since poet was sad and depressive, so he could not think of beautiful creatures and beautiful plants around. So he thought of crow and hemlock. And that is why he uses them in his poem. But then it should be noted that this same bird and hemlock become a catalyst in changing the mood of the poet. So, poet, by using these, actually, he wants to say that it doesn't matter what the thing actually represents or symbolizes. It is how you look at that thing. It is your perspective. Now, justify the role of the crow in the poem. The crow, though a symbol of bad omen, plays a positive role in the poem. It acts as a catalyst in uplifting the sullen spirit of the poet. The crow, while perching on the branch or flying away from the hemlock tree, shakes off some dust of snow on the poet. So, this action changes the mood of the poet. The poet is also inspired to shake off his sad and depressive thoughts and see towards the brighter side of life. Thus, the crow plays a major role in the poem. So, as dust of snow is shaken off from the branches and it falls on the poet. Similarly, poet is inspired to shake off his troubles and his problems and see towards the brighter side of life. Eighth question. What did the poet think of the day before the dust of snow fell on him? Or explain the line and saved some part of a day that I had ruined. So the poet regretted the happenings of the day. He felt that his day had been ruined. He was feeling hopeless, but then the insignificant incident of falling of dust of snow changed his mood. He became joyful and it saved the rest of his day. So it is actually the same incident that is repeated in all the answers. The only thing is that your words they have to change and you have to adapt according to the question. So it's a simple poem, just one incident, and again you have to repeat that incident, but just fit in according to the question. Now, ninth is literary devices. So, two literary devices in the line has given my heart. So, first literary device is alliteration. Her sound is repeating, and you have to write like this. So, underline the sound and then right below her sound is repeating. And the second literary device is synecdoche. Synecdoche, this word heart, it represents the poet as a whole. So, heart, when it says that it has given my heart a change in mood, so that only the heart is not changed. The mood of only the heart hasn't changed, it is the whole poet actually. So, that is why heart it represents the poet as a whole. Now, next is the extract. So, first question from the extract, what has brought a change in the mood of the poet? It is the shower of dust caused by the crow that has brought a change. Then, what has been saved? It is poet's rest of the day has been saved from being wasted or spoiled. Then, the word that is an opposite of delighted in the given stanza. So, the word is rued. Now we come to this facts and opinion question. So as I've told you that first you have to read all the thoughts that the students they are discussing, and you have to write whether it is a fact or an opinion, and then you have to look at the options. So let's read them one by one. First one, I would never go out in such a cold and gloomy weather. So now when it is I would, it suggests it is a personal view. So personal views, they are opinion. So this is an opinion. Now, second one. Well, the poet was not happy about something. Something had spoiled his day. So this we know as we have read the poem. So this is a fact. So poet we know that was not happy in the beginning. Something has happened or something had spoiled his day. Next. So let's not forget that a sudden realization brightened his mood. So has given my heart a change of mood. So again, this is a fact. So there's something happened and there's a sudden realization that brightens his mood. So this is again a fact. Now next is, come on, you never know he was out for a walk to enjoy snow. So you never know that he was there. So this is again an opinion because this student is giving his views or what he thinks the poet might be out for. So this is again an opinion. So now let's see the options. So 1 and 4 should be opinion and 2 and 3 should be facts. So facts 2 and 3 they are there, but along with it 4 is also there. So option 1 is not the correct one. So 2 and 3 facts are not here, and again not correct one. The third one, 2 and 3 fact and 1 and 4 opinion. So we have got our answer. In this case 1 and 4 fact, 1 and 4, so they are wrong. So third is our answer. So I hope that now it is clear how you have to solve it, and this self-evaluation test is going to help you. The questions, these 10 questions, I have covered each and everything. The question may change, but answers they are going to be these only. So if you revise all these answers, you will be able to answer any type of question that comes. Now this is the thumbnail of part 1 in which explanation is there, and this is the thumbnail of part 2, that is the literary devices. So central idea and message revise from this explanation video. I have already given the links in the description box. Revise literary devices, then come and do the self-evaluation test and your poem is ready. So that's all for today. Do subscribe to my channel and I wish good luck to all of you.